Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching GeekCaster, everything sci-fi fantasy. I'm Michael 7 Michael, and today we've got in the studio.
Ladies first.
Phoenix
Sparks, and our special guest,
Evette Morales.
and of course, the one, the only Dayveonne Bussey, the originator. That's right.
The RKO of RKOs.
How is everybody doing? You're watching GeekCast, everything sci-fi fantasy. We're live, and Evette, you're on location. What are you doing today?
Actually, I just did a promotional video for this parkour place. Actually, very adventurous.
Excellent. So, hold on a second. Let's see if we could. And the beauty of being live, you could press buttons and change things around immediately. Let's see. Cool. So, Evette, you have a lot of exciting things to talk about today, and that's why we have a guest in the audience. We will be talking about some original content and also where tech is going, which is going to get totally scary. But first, Evette, you're about to stream on a couple of platforms. Are you allowed to say what you're working on and or at least the networks? What's going on?
I can actually talk about what it's about.
Okay.
I can't tell you where or what date yet because the affirmative date has not been told to me yet. So
Okay.
I can't even give that to you because I don't have it. But I was told that it's going to be in October. No date in October, but October. So Face Behind the Dream is what I'm currently working on, which is a production. It actually allows people to really be able to promote themselves for chasing their passion, turning their passion into a profession, and then gives the window for kids to actually see people chase their passion and turn it into a profession. A lot of my childhood, I was told that, my dream was never going to be a profession. I couldn't be a WNBA player. I couldn't play basketball professionally. I couldn't be a soccer player. It didn't make enough money. And I saw that throughout time and time again with kids. So during the pandemic, I really wanted to find out how do I make my niche of hosting, because we can't host in public spaces anymore because we're all isolated, and combine that with my passion for basketball, which I wasn't able to chase. So
Wow.
This idea came to me, and I started this whole production on it, which allowed me to meet a lot of interesting and cool people who have chased their dreams and created a plethora of things, from being a professional dunker to being a sports medicine, a professional trainer, even down to being a development coach or owner of a team, someone who does sports therapy, meaning they're family-oriented sports therapy, not physical. So you never really think about how an athlete goes through the struggles of not being with their families because they're traveling a lot, and how to maintain that family. It actually does require some sort of therapy. So it's just a lot of a variety of things that I've actually found that people are actually created their own alleyway to become a professional in their passion.
Wow.
So that's what I've been working on. In the interim, I've been marketing through basketball clinics and creating opportunities for kids to allow them to get to meet their influencers, play with their influencers, create content with them, be trained by them for free. So I'm going to have my third one coming up. So it's just been a really cool roller coaster ride. Obviously, you have your ups and your downs, but amazing experience.
Cool. Send us links so we could put that out there and share that as soon as things come up. And once the show launches, come back and tell everybody just how it received. Like, I like it. Hey, I didn't like that edit. Who's, what was going on there? That'll be great.
Sounds awesome. Definitely will.
Yeah. So, all right. So this is a question for everybody. So technology is moving really fast. And I was watching this thing on Netflix where they were talking, it's called The Future of, and it basically goes into different things. Now, one of the topics was death. And they were saying that they could basically take kind of like your personality from the things you've written. And we've seen this in movies where they kind of make a robot based on your personality. People are actually working on this, that your ancestors can communicate with you for years to come. One of those projects, they compost your body and they basically plant a tree. So your remains are kind of in this tree, and they can also put, because there is a way to take your DNA and to put memory in those DNA, almost like you store information on a hard drive, where there'll be a tree, there's a computer, and people can ask questions and stuff like that. So I throw that at all of you. Now, what do you think of where we might be going, where a cemetery might look like a forest of trees?
Well, that was very far-fetched.
Well, you said that they were using AI to mimic someone's consciousness and personality.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the video where a woman, she did this knowingly, she paid a funeral service to do that and make a video of her talking so she could have conversations with her loved ones after she had passed? Have you seen that video?
No.
No.
So it's along the lines of what you were saying, and I think it's very controversial because you could use that in a good way, or it could be exploited in a bad way. So, curious.
Wow.
What are your thoughts?
Go ahead. You can go first, Dayveonne, because you're bubbling over there. You're like shocked, and Evette, you're shocked too. So.
I didn't know what to expect coming onto this show.
Yeah. Are we talking about Tony Stark as a smart 3D type conscience walking around telling you how to live your life type?
No.
I'm joking.
Hologram.
Like a hologram. But as far as the tree is concerned, it sounds interesting and scary at the same time, because last year we had a film that had a tree that was talking. Spoilers. And the people that lived in the house, the tree actually started controlling them and making them into puppets. So I'm like, when you said that, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it sounds so far-fetched, but there's all the little pieces of the puzzle of what I said already exist and are proven. So for instance, in a computer, everything is ones and zeros. Your DNA, I believe, are A, G, T, and C's. So all they had to do is kind of change the language for that to translate. So they're able to store information in plants. So if they're able to do that, and they were like, well, maybe we can do that with dogs and cats, and of course, we could do that within the tissue of humans, because DNA is DNA, you're just messing around with it. So, food for thought. Everyone's so stunned. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Well, honestly, I think movies have already spoken about this, so I don't think where we have our imagination and where we put out there for the world, it's accessible. We don't think too far-fetched out of our grasp. It might take us a while to get there, but I don't think it's too far-fetched for us. So.
Venus could be a cat.
Well, yeah, I'm curious with funny that you said it that way, but I'm curious can you inject that DNA or mess around with someone's, like another being or another animal's DNA. Like, where does the mind stop at that? But as a transition,
I mean, you might come out with a third eye.
You might do that. So there's an ethical issue even before going that far, which is, I think it was Columbine. There's a few tragedies where the old Facebook used to have this thing, like if someone passes away or just not active, they would shut it down. But because of those tragedies, people are like, no, don't get rid of fill in the blanks page. That's kind of our memorial page. So now that opens up this concept of your digital legacy. Who has control of that? So as soon as you go on to most of these sites, you know that long thing you don't read but you say agree? Right. Well, they kind of own your images, your voice, your everything that you do on there in a way. They have the right to use it. So what happens to that digital legacy? And will companies now start holding your image and your legacy hostage that people have to pay?
And I don't know, it poses a lot of questions of if we can, should we, and then how will legislation or culture protect these concerns or ask the questions, right? And that's where I think movies for a really long time or art has always been able to pose these concepts in a way like, was it Ex Machina, right? So I think that's kind of where we see the intersection here of like sci-fi meets reality and fantasy becomes something that's actually possible.
Well, it looks like that's what they're trying to do now, like the Jetsons. Is George Jetson?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's deep, it's like who controls. Okay, I'll put it this way. Because of like Tupac, you saw the virtual hologram of Tupac. Yeah. There's even apps on Instagram where you could put your face into the Game of Thrones or Spider-Man. In fact, Dayveonne, I saw you did one. You were like fighting some movie, some martial arts movie, but you put your face on it. But if people pass away and these companies kind of own your image of whatever you posted, do they have the right to take your face and say, here, buy this chicken? Now, the family members might know that that person's a vegan, totally against any kind of harm towards animals, but because now they kind of own your image, will that be an issue? And if the person's dead, not that they can be like, they can fight against it.
Oh.
Spooky.
You want to think that we just
in all fairness, I was scared with my logo because my logo has my silhouette, and someone wanted to buy it out, and I was scared to do that because I'm like, I can't use my silhouette ever again.
Oh wow! Did you sell it?
No. I want to keep my silhouette.
Yeah.
That's deep. Wow. Can you sell your silhouette?
Yeah. The logo is literally my silhouette. Like, it's a picture of me and it's a silhouette of my picture. I was like, and the silhouette challenge, if it comes back around, I won't be able to do it.
Oh man, that's crazy. Well, because you're going to be streaming, let's put it out there already. Your new hit show, right?
Yes.
So, how do you feel that people could watch you at any time? I mean, they can already, I guess, through Instagram and stuff, but now they're really going to get a taste of your personality and interacting with people and your thoughts, does that bother you at all? Are you nervous?
Actually, not at all. Because the episodes are not about me. They're about my guests that I have on the show. So I'm just redirecting them, letting people know who they can see, watch, follow, and just be a opening pathway for others. So that doesn't faze me actually at all. Now, if it was me on the other side of the seat, then absolutely.
That's funny.
People want me to be in the front. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'll hang back here. You go ahead.
So how did you get involved with the production? Like, how did it start to say, hey, I'm going to do this?
Ooh, that was during quarantine. So I quit my full-time job to be a host. 2019, in September 2019. And then obviously March of 2020, we go on a full lockdown. So I had my whole year planned. I knew what film festivals I was hosting, music events I was hosting, radio station I was hosting, and everything went locked down. I had to find something else that worked so I could still make money. Like, I'm not going to be jobless or bored.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took me a few months to figure out because it didn't click until August of last year. So this past August was a whole year. And then I was like, in less than 30 days, I put in the whole production, figured out who was going to film it, where I was going to film it, who I was going to have as my guest. And that it literally picked up so quickly. And then in the next 4 months, I did season 2. So I have 2 seasons already pre-recorded.
Oh, wow.
And now I have my guest list for season 3. So I already know I'm going to go that far. So I'm just really excited. People are excited about the show. Once they hear about it, they want to be a part of it. They want to be on the show. They want to, so it's just really cool to see people interested in something that I just found that was a hurdle for me that I did not get over. Years later, I found a new way on how to actually use it. Since I do love hosting and getting to know people, I use this in a different path in order to make an impact with people.
That's cool. That's cool.
So in all essence, I'm chasing my passion and turning it into a profession.
Right. And it's really good and really powerful for you to be able to break that down and talk about it, because I think a lot of people want to be successful, whatever that means to them. But are you willing to not work? Are you willing to struggle? Are you willing to network with people? Are you willing to really push and make that happen? And the reality is most people are not.
Yes. But there's always variations. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do ask a few of my guests in the seasons, and how, what was their whole lineup of how they got to where they got to. Some of them took breaks, some of them had families, children. So they go through the struggles. What were their struggles? How did they get over those struggles? Or did they get through it, under it, around it? What was their version of it? Mm-hmm. And I think that makes it their own story. So whether it takes them 15 years to get to making their passion a profession, or 1 year, it doesn't matter. Everyone has a different life and a different story to tell. Mm-hmm. So I think at this point, it's find it what works for you. But here's someone that did it, and this is how they did it. Whether you follow step for step, or take a little longer, take a little less, do a little more, do a little less. That's up to you.
Now, there are great books that are out there that talk about how to be a success or this and that. I mean, for decades, like hundreds of years, actually, there's always been a scroll or a book of this is how you do it. I remember years ago there was this big thing, The Secret. Remember that? Everyone was talking about The Secret, The Secret. From your experience interviewing people on the show, do you find that anything is consistent? Like, for instance, you just said people have their own journey, their own obstacles. Well, was it consistent that everybody had some kind of obstacle?
Their obstacle was that it had to literally be their passion. So you can't have multiple passions, right? You can like baking, you can like lifting weights. Okay, so if those are your two things, how do you make that one passion? So yeah, this person loved being with people and they loved basketball. They were good at instruction, so they became a trainer. That was combined, their good skill set and made it their passion.
So, again, just to be clear, so the consistent obstacle was just trying to figure out what their passion was, or how to
Yes.
combine passions.
No, so you can have multiple things you like, but essentially that should lead to one thing, that one
Gotcha.
passion that you have. So because these are a lot of people that are creating their own profession, it's never been done before. So make a combination that you've never seen before. Make it your own thing. Let that be you. Let that be your passion, and then you chase it, and then you turn that into a profession. And that's what people tend to forget. Like creators, like content creators, they don't actually. You can't say like they're good cooks, or they're athletic, or they're good at singing, or because they can have one day they have content that is of them singing, one content of them being at an obstacle course like I was today, and the next day of them being at a basketball court like I did the other day. But at the end of the day, I'm just creating content. So you can't say that I'm an athlete because I just did some vocals, right? So I'm a creative content, like I'm a content creator. So that makes it a different title. So it's a whole new me. It's I want people to find their me. Put all your skill sets into a bucket. What does that come up with?
Wait, did you just say you did vocals?
Yeah, but that's just for fun.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like,
He does it all.
as in singing or rapping?
As in singing.
Interesting.
Okay.
But do you have work that you created yourself, or do you just kind of do covers?
No, so I do have it, but it's not out yet. I'm not working on it because I'm doing some other stuff, but eventually I'll get to it because I want to do a lot with voiceover, so it does take a lot of voice control.
Oh, that's so fun. Do you have any important dates you'd like to share with us?
Important dates. Not at the moment, because I definitely want to come back, so I don't want to give out any of that yet.
Okay.
Gotcha.
To be announced.
Did anybody here watch She-Hulk? As just a transition, but did anybody watch? What you thinking? Ladies first, what you thinking?
Go ahead, Phoenix.
So I didn't see it, but I saw a review, and it looks like it's copying some cliche social commentary about misogyny that we've seen a million times over the last few years. So a little stale conceptually.
Okay, Evette,
So
what you thinking?
I've seen it. I actually am enjoying the sarcastic humor. I actually enjoy the fact that I guess it's just light. It's an enlightening and light part of Marvel or the comics. I also enjoy the fact that everything that she's been doing, it's a lot easier. It came easier, and then actually opened up to more of the effects that females have more emotions, and we have to control them more, and we're not as aggressive. So it actually symbolizes like the femininity of her versus the masculinity in the whole.
Wait a minute. That was brilliant. Oh no. Go, Dayveonne. Go.
I have to say she hit the nail in the coffin. I'm going to say a little bit. It reminds me of Ally McBeal back in like think 90s.
I never watched it.
It was a good show. I like Ally McBeal. And it's just, that's what it reminds me of. Ally McBeal was superpowered, and she happens to be the Hulk. But I do see the cliches. I do see a lot of stuff that women go through in this type of like in these episodes that's been going on. So it basically gives us an idea of what women deal with on a day-to-day basis when it comes to us males. We try to hit on them, we try to holler. And then it also looks.
You got all that from that?
Yeah, bro.
I did not get that at all.
That's because it's you. But anyway,
I didn't get that. But I did get what you're saying. Like, wow, like, you know, the whole thing with the Hulk not being able to control his anger, and the fact that she didn't have that. I didn't think until because she's a woman, she controlled her emotions.
Yes,
I wasn't.
bro.
Yeah, I didn't make the automatic because I'm not sexist. So I'm actually a feminist. So I didn't think that way. But damn, Evette, now I gotta look at the show different.
Exactly, Michael. Exactly, bro.
He just pressed play.
You know, I just pressed play. I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's light and fluffy. There's sarcastic humor. I get it.
Wow. Yeah. What did you guys think of the animated She-Hulk? Some scenes, I think they didn't put as much energy in others.
Yeah, very good art. Now, I do like this one animated part where they had the sneakers. It gave hints of what's to come for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A lot of X-Men reference.
You could just say
That's what I said.
You're just saying it so slow. And we're running out of time, too.
X-Men reference, Emo reference, all within the sneakers. Like you had Black Panther, you had Iron Man, Ironheart.
Man.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Daredevil.
And then there were some Daredevil, but there was other sneakers that we had trouble trying to figure out. So hopefully anybody that's watching this can basically point out all the sneakers that what they represent. I know there was Spider-Man. The list goes on, but help a brother out.
Cool. Everybody give your social media so we don't run out.
Dayveonne, Bussey, or all the things except for Twitch and Twitter. Shamal Williams Show.
Phoenix Sparks _official, Instagram and Twitch.
Evette
Mary Morales, spelled with an E. And of course, my show, which is called Face Behind the Dream. And in between each word, there is a space.
Excellent. Michael7, Michael on IG. You're watching GeekCaster. Go to geekcaster.com. For everyone watching us on cable, thank you. We just got renewed. Woohoo! We're going to be on Fridays, 5 p.m. So that's great. All the information's on the website. And if you're watching us on IG, we really appreciate you as well. Evette, we love having you, especially when we do these relationship talks. But
oh boy.
Yeah. You gotta look on the website, and you know she throws down. She kicks that knowledge.
Oh boy.
So we definitely want you to have you
something.
back for that. But congratulations again on the show, and yes, come back and let people know a little bit more about what's going on over there.
Definitely will. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. You're watching GeekCaster. Yeah. And we're out.